Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. As you can see, a big portfolio in store. We'll get to that in a moment. One of our more popular features, a lot of people like when we do the so-called sweat barometer. We used to call it the margin of cover. These are the teams that have been the best to bet so far this year based on margin of cover, not just spread record, but we'll give you the spread record as well. But margin of cover the same as margin of victory, except it's based on the point spread. So if you're a 7-point favorite, you win by 10, your margin of cover is +3. Or if you were the underdog, or if you lost there, then your margin of cover would have been -3. UC Riverside, and this is based on a minimum of 3 line games. UC Riverside is 3-0-1, covering by an average of 14.2. Kent State 3-0, 13.3 they've been covering by. Tennessee 5-0 by 13.2. Whoa, sit back for this one. Drake, I guess you could say arguably when you take into consideration both ATS record and the margin of cover, best in the country, perfect 7-0 by an average of 13.1 points per game. Winthrop 5-0 by 12.7. Baylor, and yeah, we know we had their game against Gonzaga was postponed, but Baylor, and especially this is rare when a team is so highly touted, and yet they're exceeding expectations. They're 6-0 by an average of 12.7 points per game. And then among the leaders, final among the leaders anyway, Army 4-0 by an average of 11.9. Now, who have been the best teams to bet against? San Jose State is 0-3, failing to cover by an average of 14.7. Long Beach State's 1-2, but by an average of -14.5. Arguably, well, really the worst team when you take both into consideration, record and margin of cover, would be Northern Illinois, 0-7, -13.2. Duke is only 1-4, failing to cover by 11.6. Yeah, no wonder Mike Krzyzewski doesn't want to play. Charleston Southern is 0-5 by an average of 9.7 points per game. They are failing to cover. As you can see, look, I've been in this business since the 1980s. 1986 is when I got my first job with Dial Sports. 1988, full-time, and the people that are on the lock line, which goes back to the score phone days of 1980, said they've never seen any start like this. Master lock line, 34-7 NCAA basketball. Throw in the 1 NBA pick, 35-7 basketball start, 22-9 overall. 3 sports worth of winners. Highest rated plays and the highest rated services in their highest rated sports on the Master lock line at offshoreinsiders.com. All right. Free winner for today, and quite frankly, when I first had this marked up as a free winner, it was just before, it was early this morning, but I had to get out the premium plays. It was before James Harden's status became in doubt. If you haven't heard, James Harden, strip joint, latest athlete to be caught in a strip joint, so his status is in doubt for tonight, but I was still able to get down on Oklahoma City, plus the 5 against Houston. The lines are all over the place, so you could really get a good middle right now. I mean, right now, if you bet it, because different books are reacting differently. But road teams in revenge of playoff elimination. The previous year, Oklahoma City lost in 7 games in the playoffs last year. Now, what was the beginning? Yeah, the playoffs last year was so I think it was a 7-game series. Maybe it was a 5-game series. The whole playoffs were, of course, screwed up. But anyway, teams in revenge of playoff elimination, regardless of how many games it went, 62-37 early in the next year, unless they are big favorites. Now, the fact that it's a 62.6% angle, even though it's only 34-65 straight up, is telling. Of course, I've told you the ultimate stupid non-angle, great example of inductive rather than deductive thinking. I see it all the time. People say, if you just pick the team that wins outright, you're going to almost cover. It's a team that wins outright covers like 80% of the time. And we've pointed up, again, time and time again, why that's completely stupid. But there are people out there who figure all you have to do is handicap the outright winner in a game and you're going to get the spread winner. And again, this angle is one of the many that shows how stupid that is. But if you know anything about philosophy and the difference between inductive reasoning and deductive reasoning, you know how stupid that is. But anyway, back to this specific angle. It does make sense. Look, the team with a chip on their shoulder, they're going to fight to the end. They don't want to get blown out again. after losing in the playoffs. Meanwhile, of course, the team that won the playoff series last year, they'll be happy to escape with a home win. Yes, this angle, because unless Oklahoma becomes a big favorite, if Harden is declared out, we do like Oklahoma City. Of course, we like it plus the 5 a lot more, but if Harden is officially suspended and it's like a pick, we would still like them, but we did get down, go to offshoreinsiders.com to see the best places to bet. And again, if you like information like this, please give us a like, give us a positive rating if you're listening on one of the podcasts. It basically tells the search engines and the various providers that this is carried on. Look, this is great information. We need more information like this, so please give us that vote of confidence. Essentially, the more likes we get, the more publicity we get, the more views, the more listens, the more often I'm going to do this and give you free stuff that is backed again by 3+ decades of experience and mixing a little bit of everything. I told you I added computer simulation to my arsenal earlier this year. We got the best computer systems. I also use the old-fashioned, what I like to call it, the organic handicapping. So all of our picks are basically go through a bunch of different ways to look at games and predict the outcome of games. That's why I've been full-time in this business since June the 1st of 1988 and have been in this business since 1986 overall. Joe Duffy's picks at offshoreinsiders.com.